Let's see. Good day, everybody. This is Yin Yang in California with Morsels of a Thought number 1542. I am here in the morning at 5:10 or 5:12 a.m. I think it's 5:12 by now. I am not sure. However, we are in the book. We are in the book Launch by Jen Duplessis, America's Mortgage Mentor, How to Take Your Business to New Heights. Now I know it's Sunday, and I know the Lord say that we say we must rest on the Sabbath. I don't think it says anything about thinking. So let's do some thinking. And Morsels of Thought of Wisdom is my show for today, for everybody, for every day. My goal is to bring more wisdom into the world. Fortune Cookie said, knowing the right thing to do is wisdom, and then doing it is called virtue. So I'm trying to bring more virtue into the world, and we get authors like Jen Duplessis, who is a go-getter, yin yang, go get it, she says, and we take some of their wisdom and use it when we can. So here we are Sunday. I know I set this book on Sunday without thinking about the Sabbath, but I believe that we can keep on thinking on the Sabbath. I don't know. If somebody has a different opinion, please let me know so I can adjust what we're doing. But I am going to read from Be a Life Learner, number 8, from Jen Duplessis on page 11. You should always keep educating yourself. Over the past decade, we've gone through some incredible turmoil and change in this industry. I'm going to go back and look at shouldn't go back too much, but I want to look at the year we printed. This is the year 2017 that she wrote this. So the past decade would be from 2007 to 2017, or she probably means just the 2010s. Over the past decade, we've gone through some incredible turmoil and change in this industry. The profession has become much more demanding and complex, and it's becoming more and more prevalent that people in the industry need to be more educated and to elevate their professionalism. Higher education is going to be necessary to be licensed and recognized as a professional. Learn from everyone in the industry, both from those who have been in the industry for a long time and those new to the industry with fresh, new ideas. Meet periodically with other lenders in your area to bounce things off each other, share your challenges and successes, and create a mini mastermind group. Master new loan products. Look at a new product that you could sell and then master it so that you can help the type of client this product may be tailored for. Be creative. For example, a simple 25-year fixed rate loan can be sold as your super saver program with a capital S, super, capital S, saver, capital B program. Um, Number 9, improve yourself. Every day, move yourself forward, your whole self, as she leans forward to read this. This is a vital aspect of working on your business and yourself. Look at ways to improve your mind, body, and soul. I think this is a good idea to do the internal work, an internal martial art on Sunday. You're not working outside and expending money, but you're working inside to shift your energy. You are working to process your energy, to get it going. Like in Chinese literature, in the ancient Chinese way, they used a calligraphy brush and they would write that way. They'd have to hold the brush this way. It was like, I don't know, it was like a weird thing. I don't know how to do that. But they would hold the brush in this way, vertically, and write on the scroll or paper, and they would have to take some ink and essentially take the ink and use a pestle and you know what? I'll do it in the order. This looks good. Here we go. It was usually square, It's usually a square. Pouring things all over the place here. It was usually a square like this, but um, and not as flat as this, not as flat as this, but pretty flat. And they would take it and mush the ink. Now the ink came on a stick. The stick was black. It was some kind. It's China ink. It was black, and they would mush it like just mush it, mush it, mush it, mush it, mush it until it became black ink. It would be with water. Water would dissolve it, but never leave it on there because if you left it right there, it would stick and you wouldn't be able to get it off. It was like a crazy glue. And in order to get it off, you had to hammer it. You had to hammer it. And you want also sometimes chipped the stone. I have a cousin, Philip, who who and his brother Dennis, they had they have a stone, a calligraphy stone, and it's got two chips on it pretty far apart. It's not a chip that would be, it's not two chips under one sticking, it's two chips. And I said, what happened? And little Philip, when he was 7 years old, said, oh, we got that stuck there twice. So, what we're doing on Sunday, we are mashing the ink for Monday's use. Okay. So, we are processing our brain for internal martial artistry. This is internal martial artistry. What you're doing here is morsels of a thought every day and changing your thinking. When you change your thinking, you change your habits. When you change your habits, you change your actions. When you change your actions, you change your destiny. You really do change your destiny when you change your thinking. So this is who said that? Somebody 2,000 years ago, either Confucius or Lao Tzu or Zhuangzi. And anyway, let's go back to, are you constantly improving your mind in a multitude of ways, not just in ways related to this profession? Ask yourself, what am I going to do this year to develop my talents and skills? Recommit to your career with a plan to get smarter and better, especially in the things you aren't excellent at. Heck, have you always wanted to play the piano? Then learn how to play. It's always about your growth and about mastering everything you possibly can. Number 10, stop talking about it. That's right. Stop talking about it. Stop talking about what you're going to do and get down to it. Don't keep saying, well, I'll do such and such someday, or I think I'll try that someday. Stop talking and take action. Someday is today. Jen's jots. There's a jot. There's a dot here. Jen's jots. She put the she puts a dot right there. I'm gonna show you right there. There's a dot right there. Wishing my bookmark. Okay. Jen jots. There is a philosophy, Jen says, that I've followed for decades. In fact, I remind myself of this philosophy during my daily affirmations. Follow this philosophy and you'll be amazed at what you can accomplish. Now, have I even got her face on here? Oh, dear goodness gracious. Oh, God. I'm sorry, Jen. Ooh, right there. Okay, sorry. All right. Les Brown, he said, okay, in fact, hold on. Jen's Jots. There is a philosophy that I've followed for decades. In fact, I remind myself of this philosophy during my daily affirmations. Follow this philosophy and you'll be amazed at what you can accomplish. Les Brown says, if you do the things that are hard, life will be easy. If you do the things that are easy, life will be hard. Boom. Mic drop. Wow. When you do the things that are easy, such as avoidance, this is Ying's example, such as avoidance, poverty is a hallmark of poverty is avoidance. It's when a person would avoid paying their bills. By doing so, they get into penalties. By doing that, they get into further debts. So, poverty, there's a hallmark of poverty, which is avoidance. That's all I have to say with that. Section 2, goals, plans, systems. Goals, plans, systems. Right there. I can see it myself. Okay. Mm-hmm. Ooh, I have too much makeup on. Chapter 2.1. Success starts with a clear vision. The big idea. Identify the passion that powers your practice so you can set a clear vision for achieving your goals. For example, my vision is to make a world full of virtue. My little show doesn't have very many followers, but if you like and subscribe, please do. If you'd like to, if you like what I say, please show your friends and share this with your friends. And go to my YouTube channel, which is at Ying Orange 99. I am also on YouTube and on the Facebook page Yin Yang and House Cat Tracks. Fan the flame from within, from divine contract, not anger, not resentment. That's by Fabienne Fredrickson. Fabienne Fredrickson. The first step to catapulting your success. Oh, I worked at a company called Catapult once. Yes, I was a yeah. Accounts payable person. What am I doing? Okay, Yin Yang, sit down, read the book. Read the book, Launch How to Take Your Business to New Heights by Jen Duplessis, America's Mortgage Mentor. Forward by Michael J. Mayer, The 7 Levels of Communication. So we're communicating, all right. I'm communicating to you. And I'm trying to read through Jen. I'm channeling Jen Duplessis. She's got lots and lots of wisdom. Section 2, goals, plans, and systems. You have to set goals, plans, and systems, okay? All right. The first step to catapulting your success into the stratosphere is to know where you want to go and what you want to accomplish. In short, you need a vision before you start your journey. If you don't have a vision and goals for your business, you'll be squinting through a muddy windshield. You might be driving along, but you really can't see where you're headed. You could be on the highway to success, but you could also be aiming for the ditch. I had a surgery, and my auntie, I have 2 aunties, and I have more than 2 aunties, but the 2 aunties came with me to do my surgery, to drive me home. And it was raining that night. Raining it was raining sheets onto the windshield. And my Aunt Mary was driving and laughing. My other Aunt Mary was saying, be careful, you can't see, you can't see. And the driver, Mary, was saying, oh, who cares? I can't see. Who cares? I can't see. Ha 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 ha. Who cares? I can't see. And meantime, I'm sitting in the back seat cringing. My life is on the line. My life is on the line. My life is on the 3 Marys in a car. 3 Marys in a car. So you could also be aiming for the ditch, says Jen Duplessis, if you have a muddy windshield and you're squinting through mud. Now, she says, let me ask you this. Could the reason that you haven't created a plan be because you think you need to create something as thick as a ream of paper? That is so not the way to go. If you wait until you have the perfect plan, you won't ever pursue your vision and realize the success that could be yours. Here's a little secret. There is no perfect plan. She writes it in italics. There is no perfect plan. That's a little secret, she says. This is free advice. You guys would be paying people for this at a mastermind. Seriously. So take your time and watch through morsels of a thought of wisdom. We've got 8 more minutes. What's your passion? Being in this business starts with having a passion and having that passion drive you to be successful. People can sense that passion in your voice and see it in your eyes. It'll make you extremely successful in this business, no matter what anyone else thinks. Are you driven to help people? Are you in business to help people realize their dream of owning a home? Or are you in business to help people navigate a complex episode in their lives? A little bit of all of these? Something else entirely? If your passion is just about the money, that will only get you so far. A passion is what powers you through each day, no matter how the day unfolds. For me, my passion starts with being a people person and having an innate drive to improve people's lives. That's the same thing as I'm doing. A passion is what powers you through. A passion is what powers you through each day. If you've got a passion, you got more power than you would if you didn't have a passion. Now the author says, I'll bet that you have an underlying passion or passions right now, but I'll also bet that you haven't consciously identified those passions in your business. I know it took me a while to realize why I loved this business so much and why I wanted to be in it for my entire working life. Embrace what your passion is for this business. That's the bedrock foundation on which to build your vision, and your vision will become your personal mission statement. Your personal mission statement. What is your passion? It will affect the market niche you fill and how you serve that market. It will affect the lines of business and product types you expertly deliver. Passion will enable you to deliver on your promises better than anyone else and to differentiate yourself. Now, yesterday I was at the store and I went to the back to use the ladies' room. And in the back, I could see the warehouse as well. It was huge. It was huge. And there were men and women on pallets, not on them, but pushing pallets to bring the stock to the front. And in the store were sections: KitchenAid, computers, phones, um, uh, more electronics. And everywhere were boxes of them, and everywhere were displays of them. Somebody had a passion to give all these things to people: an electrical motion, an electrical momentum. There we go. An electrical momentum, a momentum of giving people selling people electronics so that their lives could be better. Somebody had that passion, or else they wouldn't have had that huge warehouse. Who would go and buy a building or rent one, but buy a building with a huge warehouse? And my dad did that. And you have you have to have a vision. You have to have a vision. You have to say, okay, I'm gonna do something that helps people's lives in such a way that I like to do. And if I happen to love to sell electronics, then that's what I'm gonna sell. So you gotta have a passion. And hey, electricity powers everything. So electronics are a way to use natural power too. Okay. Your vision is not really about fulfill your vision is not about reaching a certain income level. It's about fulfilling your passion. When you do that, you'll reach literally any income level you aim for. Know the numbers. You can print out your vision, frame it, and hang it in your office, but it's only decoration unless you translate this vision into action. You need goals such as: what is your objective? What results do you want to achieve? What is your plan and purpose? My belief, the author says this, my belief is that setting goals and working toward those goals is not necessarily about reaching an end point. It's about working on the process of achieving the goals and living and breathing that process every day. If you make continual progress by following the process, you'll meet any goal you set for yourself. When I first got into this business, we talked about goals, but we didn't really understand them. My thinking was, goals, schmoles, who needs them? Later on, I realized that maybe I really did need goals, but I didn't know where to start. The first year that I decided to set goals for myself, I figured the best way to get goals into place was to simply write them down. So that's what I did. I remember that piece of paper very well. I wrote on it that my goal was to make $100,000 in the coming year. I simply divided it by 12 to get my monthly goal, and then I figured out how much I was earning on each loan. That gave me my plan, how many loans I had to close to meet my monthly and annual goals. The problem with this was that I didn't write down any actionable items on how I was going to get there. I just wrote it down and said to myself, let it be written, let it be done. Needless to say, I did not earn $100,000 that year. At the end of the year, I told everybody that I wrote down my goals, but I didn't achieve them. And everybody said, well, you can't just write down your goals. You must also tell other people about your goals. Okay, got it. So again, I wrote down that I wanted to earn $100,000, figured out my monthly income goal and how many loans it would take to make that goal. Then I told somebody about my goals and said to myself confidently, let it be written, let it be said, let it be done. But guess what? Again, I didn't meet my goals. That's when I realized that developing a solid business plan was the only way to get me to where I wanted to go. But more importantly, I had to act on the plan. Let's look at an example in the process. Say you're closing 5 loans a month, and you set a goal to increase your closings to 7 a month within the next 6 months. So that's the goal. You start with 2 additional closings per month. This is where the process comes in. What is it you have to do to increase your closings? Do you have to cultivate new referral partners? So if so, how will you do that? Do you have to create a more robust daily phone outreach effort? How will you do that? Does your contact database support a more robust effort, or do you first need to build it up? How many more referrals do you need each month to close 2 more transactions? Okay, so let's pause here. Did you hear that sound? I heard that sound. I heard that sound. I don't know how that sound happened because I don't have um I mean unless I don't know how that sound happened. Um I'm gonna have to look around for my electronics and through my electronics and find out what happened to make that sound like the opening of a film. Yes, Yin Yang is opening a film today with the help of Jen Duplessis. Launch the film. The show must go on. Okay, so we talk about that Congressman, old Kinderhook.